Hello, my name is Megan and I am a Senior Library Associate with the Pikes Peak Library District. Today we'll be doing the library craft for the street number banner. Hopefully by now you have received your materials, which include 4 binder clips, 1 canvas strip, black paint, a paintbrush, 4 wood pieces, and 12 inches of twine. Before the program begins, please be sure you have the following to complete this craft: scissors, glue, a ruler, and a pencil or Sharpie. All right, now that you've gathered your materials, let's get started. I will be moving the camera downward to show what I am doing as you work along with me. So the first thing you're going to need is your strip of canvas. I'm going to have mine sideways so you can see what I'm doing. But what you're going to do is line up your 2 of the wood pieces here at the top and here at the bottom. So we'll start with the top. And we're just kind of marking, we're not doing anything yet, just to see where we want it to be and centering it. And so I know I want mine to be roughly here. How that works. And before anything else, we also need to have our twine. You'll be cutting 6 to 8 inches, or if you want to use the full strip of twine, that's fine too. Or if you want to use less than that, that's also fine. Really, it's just that way you have enough to create the loop that you will need to hang this from your door or from a hallway or anything like that. So I'm actually going to leave mine loose like that so you can just sort of see what I mean. This here is about probably 7 inches. All right, so now that I have that all lined up and I'm happy with how that looks, so now that you have your items lined up, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim mine afterwards. You're going to take your glue, and we're just using some basic Elmer's glue here. But you can use whatever glue you have on hand. If you are using hot glue or super glue, just be careful not to burn yourself or to super glue your hands together. We're going to line these guys up, pushing down together, making sure they're even. And you're going to take one of your binder clips and put it on one end, securing it nice and tight. And then your other binder clip, on the other end here. So now we have our top ready to go. And I'm just going to cut mine right here. Hopefully you don't have to do this. Here we go. Okay. You're going to repeat most of this step on the bottom as well. Obviously, there's not going to be twine on the bottom, but you're welcome to use whatever's left over of your twine to decorate your wood pieces. But we're going to just go ahead and glue it down. Oop. All right, so now you have, I'm going to have to adjust the camera for just a second. Now you have your basic banner. It's ready to go, where you're just put on whatever number you want and you paint it. I'm going to go ahead and just do the address of the library that I'm stationed at today. And even though it's a shorter number, that'll give you some idea of how you can be creative. For this portion, I recommend using pencil, just because that gives you an idea of where you want to put the numbers and everything. So I'm at Penrose today. That is 20 North Cascade. So I'm going to do my 2 here. And then just to make it fancy, I'm going to add the N. And if you want to do any designs as well, you can like outline that here. So I'll go ahead and do a little fun design just to kind of give you guys an idea. Okay. All right. Once you have your item outlined, go ahead and open your paint. Oops. And if yours is looking a little goopy, so it looks more like a paste instead of a liquid, just add some water and use your paintbrush to mix it in. You can use the back of your paintbrush to do that. As you add water, it should reconstitute and be good to go. I'm going to go ahead and start painting. Yeah, and I'm going to use my instructions to protect the table. You'll notice that as I'm going, I'm trying to keep the brush tip kind of at a wide point. So what I'm doing, and I'll try to hold this like this, instead of going sideways, I'm using it this kind of flat. That way I get nice big strokes. But if you want more finer details, you'll want to go sideways because that allows you to have those fine, thin lines. Okay, so I'll go ahead and demonstrate that here. So this is with it sideways. And I'll go ahead and go. So at the top, you can see where my where I was doing the straight angle, just the flat tip like this. And then these thin lines here that kind of outline the center, that's turning the pencil so that way it's sideways and very thin and going slowly. That's just something to keep in mind if you're trying to make fancy designs or intricate things. I am just trying to make a nice, good, boxy number 2. So I'm mostly going to stick with the generic angle that I showed you, that's first angle. It's just flat and facing forward. Okay. For finer details, you'll want, again, like I said, want to turn it to that side, so it's at that very thin angle. I'm just going to do that up here with my little fancy designs that I've made. Making these little arrows. And then if you want to try and make different shapes, you can just play around with how the brush feels in your hand. So I'm trying to make like a nice little flower. So I want to make a nice circle. I'm kind of just making these little dots here, but I'm going to use the side way to make my petals. You can just make yours look as fancy as you want. And then for that N, I am actually going to use this side as well, just to try to give it a different look from the numbers. Generally, you'll just be doing numbers, but if you want to do letters, that's fine too. Just, this is your chance to get creative. I'm going to do those little arrow things again. I'm going to do just a little few dots around my side. I'm going to give the north a period because that is an abbreviation. And the good slash through the 0 to make it look like a 0, so that people know it's not an O. Okay, Go ahead and hold up my sign now so you guys can see it. Just give some final instructions. So we've now made our little fancy banner. It does need about probably 20, 30 minutes to dry for the paint, and I would let the wood pieces sit overnight just to let that glue really solidify, even if it isn't wood glue. And then tomorrow you can take these guys off and you'll be able to hang this and have a wonderful street banner. Thank you for joining us today. We hope you had a lot of fun and have a good rest of your day.